Is it me, or is it getting warm in here? Hey guys, AJ here back with another video. So today, if you didn't see by the title of the video, we're going to be going over some dual replays of 50 card Draco Swordsoul DPE. That was a mouthful. This is a deck theory featured in my Swordsoul deck discussion video, which you can check right here in that card. Otherwise, if you don't know the background of the deck from that video, essentially it was an idea from my good friend Sadie, which I used as an example of what you can do with Swordsoul. Anyways, I took another concoction of the deck and made it into this monstrosity, which in theory works very well. In practice, though, it bricks like a Chad and more than the original builds. At the end of the day, it's a very fun deck. I went to locals, went 2-2 with it, which is about average considering I lost every die roll that night and then bricked even more than I should have. Matchups I ended up having were Invoke Dogmatica, Phantom Knights DPE, B-Trooper DPE, and then Lyrilisk Tri-Brigade. If you guys don't know what DPE stands for, it's Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. As you can see, it was way more meta than I had in previous tournaments, and that's just the luck of the draw. But honestly, it showed me what the deck can actually die to, and that would be itself, and combo, because Swordsoul just loses to combo normally, kind of. Anyways, before I go show you the deck profile, I'd love if you guys would leave a like, comment, and your thoughts on the build and what you would change, and subscribe for more content in the future. And without further ado, let's get on to the profile. Alright guys, so as you can see right away, it's 50 cards. The reason being, I wanted to blind second and use two huge dominant engines, which is a mistake in its own right, and then I threw a bunch of board breaks and DP into the mix just because I can. And yeah, it ended up like this. As you can see, the ratios of both Draco and Swordsoul are relatively standard, and yeah, that's all fun. Desires was used as a draw power card because oftentimes you just didn't have the draw power. So after you resolved DP, you can just dig for more and then use more stuff next turn, or since your true Dracos weren't turned off by DP being summoned, because it only stops special summoning, not tribute summoning, it was relatively okay. Realistically, though, since it's Desires and banishing 10 for cost doesn't always work out when you don't always have Fusion in hand, you often were banishing one of the materials and basically killing your own DPE. In practice, it rarely ever actually worked out, and it was just not good. I would definitely not do this, given the chance to do it again. Things I would definitely do differently is cutting it down to 40 cards, removing Nibiru to the side deck, and then using Imperm instead. Imperm is just way better. And then using Baroness if I owned it. Of course, this was a real-life tournament, so if you don't own it, you can't really play it, and this is an exact copy of what I use. So Baron would have helped, kind of, not really actually at all in the tournament that I played because it never came out, but you know. Realistically, it was built to blind second, but thinking about it, I would probably try to make it going first. Using more heavy floodgates and back row to stun, and then OTK like a traditional Draco deck would. But who knows? We will think about it in the future. Anyways, if you all have any ideas or suggestions or questions other than these, please let me know. I'm always happy to hear. But let's get on to the replays. Alright guys, so the first matchup is going to be Swordsoul versus my Draco Swordsoul. I'm going to be going first just to show you that it can go first post-siding, even though it doesn't really want to. This is obviously game 2 or 3, because I do have Sanctum in my deck, which is one of the cards I'm siding, and honestly, it worked pretty well. This can also just show you that this deck can play through Nibiru and still win. And you're just gonna see from there. So we're gonna start off with the standard combo, search Moye and Moye effect. You know the drill. If you don't, pay attention. Chi-Cha 1, Moye 2, we're gonna get Imperial Order to hand by luck, which is really nice. And then we're just gonna tribute summon Majesty Maiden, do our thing. We're gonna then top deck so we can use Long One, and then we're gonna go into Chen Ying. Unfortunately, we didn't play Baron because we don't have Baron in real life, so that's why we don't. But you would go for Baron there if you owned it. And then we'd avoid the Nibiru. But right here is going to show you why Swordsoul is still really good going second and going first, and can play through things like disruptions and Nibiru. As you can see, we just skipped their turn basically there. In the mirror, it's a really strong card to have Scythe. Anyways, we're going to tribute Ignis Heat, we're going to board wipe them, and then we're going to basically go into Tai. They already know that I'm going to go into Bastia and kill them. But yeah, that's the first replay. Alright guys, so this is going to be Draco Swordsoul against Dark Magician with a bunch of crazy things. I'm just going to say this now. I've never seen a crazier Dark Magician deck before, and this is solely the reason why I wanted to showcase it, because this is not only me going second, showing you how the deck actually functions and is supposed to function, but it also shows you a really, really cool Dark Magician build, and I thought it was the biggest brain build I've ever seen. So we're going to just watch this real quick. They're going to go first, obviously. They're going to start off with Souls and summon Dark Magician Girl. Then we're going to use Diviner, pitch the Herald, and search the ritual spell. And then we're going to go into Zolkin, summon Crystal Wing. We avoid Nibiru this way. And then they stack their deck and then draw a card. At this point, they're able to just go straight into another Apprentice and then Verte into a Branded Fusion. I don't know why they don't go into Red Eyes Fusion. Into Dragoon here, because they did have Red Eyes Fusion in hand and they shuffled it back, but whatever. Anyways, I'm going to Dark Ruler them. I was trying to bait an Ash just with the Swordsoul, but it turned out they had nothing else. So I end up going to Bastia, get rid of the Crystal Wing, and then we're going to go send Moye off at Tai. We're going to pop our normal summon Declasia. We're going to summon Moye and then go into Chichao 1, Moye 2, as always. And then we're going to use the long one, summon Chen Ying, and at this point burn for 12, go DPE, and then we just have game here because, well, we don't have game, but we have pretty much complete control over the board. And then we have we get to recur our Ecclesia and tribute summon during their turn to pop one monster, if we need to. So Ravis is going to, something I haven't seen in a hot minute, is going to negate Chichao, which is actually a really good tech right now. Honestly, if you don't like getting targeted, it's a very good counter card. Apocalypse is going to pop their Dark Magician, and then we're going to search a spell off of Ignis because we tributed it. And yeah, they're going to just draw 3 because they're Chad and go into that. But I'm going to trigger DPE and Chen Ying, Archduke, right here to basically get rid of anything relevant. And then we're going to have them pass, and then we're going to just win here because they can't do anything. We have a fully stacked board, and as you can see, this deck, when uninterrupted, can go off. And if you don't completely brick. As you can see, I'm just flexing at this point because right here, what we can do is just keep drawing and keep going and going and going. This guy was a really cool guy, actually. I appreciated him, but we did all that for like the flex, honestly. But yeah. Alright guys, so our last matchup is going to be against Eldlich DPE, with a bunch of other weird things, but basically, they're going to go first. They're going to set up a combo, and I'm going to try breaking the board. As you can see, I have a pretty okay hand. No actual starters. Well, kind of, we have diagram access, which is not bad, and we have DPE access as long as they had no Ash. So they're going to start off with their combo. I'm not going to know what they're doing, but I don't have hand traps, so it's okay. Who needs hand traps, right? Anyways, I'm going second. He's going to go into some artifact combo. And this combo is actually really nice for them because they know I'm playing Swordsoul. I think this is a game 3. But they're going to DPE artifact Scythe pass, and then they're going to trigger Scythe on standby. and basically just say, ha ha ha, nerd. I'm gonna thankfully have diagram access, and here's a dumb move. Doing desires before DPE. I know there's a chance of being able to do other things, but in this case, I couldn't even Sword Soul combo anyways, so I should have blind DPE'd, and then, because I already knew they didn't have Ash, and then done desires, so I didn't risk anything. Don't make my mistakes. Don't be stupid. Anyways, I go into diagram. We're gonna pop one, and then we're gonna get heritage. We're gonna pop scythe with the trap, and then we're gonna draw one, set one, and then summon Ignis Heat. They're gonna trigger Valor on Ignis, and then waste an imperm after he triggers. So they went -2 there. That's the nice thing about this deck. Opponents really have to like go neg in order to get rid of the Draco cards, and it's usually a neg interaction almost always. Like, exceptions are PK and shit all, but honestly, the Sword Souls usually take care of that themselves. Right here, we are going to basically go off because we just keep having more and more stuff. Oh, the reason why I didn't go into DPE last turn was because of the Scythe. So the Desires was needed, and I couldn't play otherwise, I just realized. But anyways, I'm going to just start going full combo. I summon Taie. They see, they use Token Collector, so I just kind of like, okay, anyways, and summon DPE. We're going to draw cards, and then we're going to use Emergence to get long one. Then we're going to use Diagram, summon, and then they're just going to scoop, because at that point I have lethal. And yeah, that's the replay. Alright guys, so things I want to know, I did only show games where I won, because I didn't do very many games in general, and there weren't very many games I lost that were like, oh yeah, this is a great video to show them even though I lost. No, usually when you lose, it's a complete blowout because you have nothing, or they just FTK you with their board, because this deck still struggles against heavy combo boards, even with the Dracos, because of the really weird hands that you can get. Drawing into the DPE cards, kind of rough. Especially if they barrier statue stun you. The only way to out it is if you had a true Draco to tribute summon, and that oftentimes is really hard, especially if you don't have the traps, and it just becomes a really complex thing. But I think you guys should test this deck out. It's a really fun deck, even if it's not the most broken build. I'm gonna say it like I said the other night when someone asked me. It's probably the stronger build of True Draco that you can have. I don't think the Floodgate version is really good this format. Floodgates are kind of bad with DPE existing, but it's kind of the worst Sword Soul build, if you understand what I mean. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not more competitive than 10E or just pure DPE, in my opinion. It's definitely got potential, and definitely can be a really fun deck to play. I have a lot of fun playing this deck. So I think you guys should just consider that when you are playing it. If you want to play True Draco, this is a really fun way to play it. And DP does not affect your Draco stuff at all, so if you just wanted to cut the Sword Soul stuff, that works too. Anyways, if you guys like the video, please do make sure to give me a like, comment, and subscribe, what you thought about it, and let me know what you want to see in the future. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye! Hey guys, I just wanted to say one last thing. If you want to check out one of my more popular videos, that would be the video on the left. And if you want to check out one of my more recent videos, that video will be on the right. I will see you guys soon. Peace.